Welcome back, trackies. The Olympics are over, at least for Jamaica. Separate from the marathon tomorrow, the Olympics are over. Jamaica had their last day on the track. And overall, I just want to say we're proud of our athletes today and how they performed. I want to start with our performance in the 4 by 400 meter four by 400 meters. We had representation for Jamaica there, none in the men for the females. So, T, take it away. How did we do there? What are your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, America did what everybody thought they would do with Sydney McLaughlin Leveroni. I mean, not only did they win, they won in an area record, 3 minutes 15.27 seconds, just a tenth of a second outside of the actual world record, which was crazy to watch. Given again the legs that they had, so potentially if they had a few women that were faster this season, you can just imagine that that world record is potentially coming for America probably next year. But at the time, Sydney does something absolutely phenomenal on the second leg. I mean, she literally, between Jamaica and America, they pretty much handed over pretty close. And Sydney gapped that field beyond gapped. You know what I mean? She ran a 47.71 seconds. 47.71 seconds.
But
It was the
you know
most
what I saw
ridiculous
there
thing I've
though?
watched.
But you know what I saw there? It was an overall team effort on the USA's part. Like there
Yes, it
was
was.
not one weak link. Everyone
True.
performed, I would say, above their capabilities on Team USA today, and that
True.
brought home that national record and era record. But on that note, even though it looked or it appeared that the other teams in the race were out of it and so far behind the US, I was amazed that when the dust settled, we had so many national records. What we had
Yeah.
national record for the Netherlands, national record for Great Britain. Who finished in fourth? That was a national record as well.
Also, Ireland ran a national record. France ran a
Yes.
national
So
record as
can
well.
you
And
imagine that?
Canada and Belgium ran season's best. So
So
it was
can you
a
imagine that
very, very fast race.
all of those very close races that we've seen in recent times with the US, with persons trailing the US closer at least, or the US themselves doing so exceptional. Today, we really saw the best of all of the teams that are really contending or doing well in the 4 by 4 now. So amazing for the ladies. And they were way behind the US and still running national records.
Yes,
Amazing
they
all
were
around.
big. Well, given the fact that Netherlands finished second in 3 minutes 19.50, and Great Britain 3 minutes 19.72, I didn't realize that that's how far 4 seconds is. That 4 seconds looked like the whole track as far as I'm concerned. So that was
Yep.
crazy to see. That was
Mhm.
wild. I mean, America definitely took it out and did amazing. For me personally, though, I am sad because I watched Jamaica, en route to possibly getting on the podium and outdoing the expectations of many. Led off by a Stacey and Williams, and it just didn't work. I mean, everybody has a different view. My view is different. The Batman was slapped out of her hand, and nobody's going to change my view on that. And as such, we didn't finish in the race. I mean, Stacey had a really masterful first leg for Jamaica. It made me emotional thinking about how much heart and belief the athletes had to go out there and do that. And thinking that this is probably Stephanie and McPherson's last opportunity as well at the Olympic Games. I saw the team hugging, and I could just understand, just sitting from here, the emotions that they were probably feeling right now, that Stephanie won't have another opportunity, unfortunately, in 2028, given how old she'll be at that time in track and field to be representing Jamaica. This was it. They were running with heart and they were running with belief. And the most unfortunate thing that you could ever think of happening happened. And the baton was knocked out of our hands. And that for me, completely ruined I was literally holding on by a string, because we've had so much mishaps. I was literally holding on by a string, and this just set me over the edge. And I'm over it. I'm over Paris. I'm just over, everything that happened. I enjoy the performances that I watched, but personally, yeah, this just,
Right. Right. What I would say is that going into the race, the expectations of Jamaica medaling seemed low. However, after Stacey ran that blistering first leg, I really got into it. I really thought that we would see a medal. And plus, we assembled the best team that we could, right? And I liked the lineup. We had our most experienced 4 by 400 meter relay runner on the anchor leg, And I know Stephanie Ann would have put her best efforts forward, but unfortunately, we lost the baton on the second leg, and there crashed all our hopes and expectations and dreams. And that basically concluded Jamaica's participation in the Olympics. Pretty much how it started from, yeah, I mean, as early as 100 meters, just not exactly
Crashing
what we
onto me,
expected.
apparently. That
What
was the trend for us, apparently. Yeah, but I just want to say kudos to Stacey for doing so well. And Jeanette was also doing well.
she
Before, as I
was.
said, everything just went left. If I seem low on energy, guys, that's literally because I am. Because yeah, that's the mood that I'm feeling right now. I can't be celebratory because of how I'm feeling right now. Um, I just want to quickly jump over from the amazing exploits by America, Netherlands, and Great Britain to walk away with medals here to the men's 4 by 4, because this is something that I know some of y'all are probably waiting, waiting with bated breath to get at me for that my call with the 4 by 4. But as I said, when I was live, I'm actually not embarrassed by the call because I literally watched the greatest 4 by 400 meter men's race I've ever seen. Now, don't get me wrong, this wasn't the world record. This was the Olympic record,
Olympic record.
right? Right. It was the Olympic record,
And
but still,
national records all around. Like
yeah, national
all
records all around as
around.
well. Yeah, national
What,
records
top
all around as
six
well.
national records?
Hmm?
Wonderful. I'm saying top six or so national records apart from the Olympic record, because the US also has the world record, so that's not a national record for
Yeah.
them, but
Mhm.
absolutely fabulous. This race was nail biting. I was, it lived up to billing. I wish they had ended the Olympics with the 4 by 400 meter for males instead of for females, and they should have. They should have known that that would be where with the more, the excitement would have been, and the race was so exciting.
Yeah,
We
because
saw
competition makes things more exciting, and given the fact that USA had no challengers, which was expected going into the females final, that is why I would suppose the men should have gone last. But I know why they put the women last. They put the women last because they were expecting a world record.
so we had the USA winning Olympic record. Uh,
2 minutes
we
54,
had
2 minutes 54 point 43 seconds. Botswana
Botswana
was right
second.
there, 2 minutes 54.53. And Great Britain was third, 2 minutes 55 point 83. Now, as we said, all these times were national records, save USA because they already have the world record. This was just an Olympic record. But fourth place, Belgium was a national record. Fifth place was a national record, as well as for Japan, national record. Only three teams here didn't run national records. So the race was awesome. But what made it more captivating was, between Botswana and America, it was definitely epic. It lived up to its billing. I had
Exactly.
Botswana winning, you know what I mean? And as I said, I take no shame in Botswana, carrying Botswana in this race. It had to be somebody, you know what I mean? And they gave it their all, and their all wasn't good enough for the win. But it was still an amazing race. Hats off to America, though. They did that, especially given the fact that they were missing a few crucial legs, you would say. Well, I don't know how crucial Michael Norman would have been to this, given what I'm seeing, what I see, the splits that everybody did. But I know a Quincy Hall would have been definitely added an additive to what these athletes would have done here. The fastest split was by Ray Benjamin. He split 43 1 8. And just to put things into perspective in terms of what Quincy Hall could have potentially done, Matthew Hudson, the silver medalist in the individual event for the men's 400 meters, split 43 seconds on the nose. Well, actually, they adjusted it now. Okay, so the actual times are adjusted now. This isn't what it was before because before they had put it up at 43 seconds, so I'm saying 43.09. Regardless, right? Based on the fact that what we saw Quincy Hall do on his split, it very much means that we could have gotten a 42 split from like a Quincy Hall, which would have made USA shatter. their world record that they already own. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this team is capable of doing in the future as well. For sure. As well, Botswana is still in it. Botswana can still challenge, and I love that. Their athletes are very young, and they're still getting better and better and better. So I believe that this rivalry is going to be around for a few championships to come. Well, right? And I'm just talking about Botswana versus USA. USA is always going to have the depth in the 400 meters, full stop. So they're always going to be competing with somebody. I think we're living in the moment of Botswana versus the United States of America.
And I want to say kudos to Rai Benjamin because he has been winning these 4 by 400 meter relays pretty much unchallenged for a
Yeah.
minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came under immense pressure from, let's see, to Bogo, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he did come under immense pressure there. He somehow managed to hold it
Yeah.
together. And I believe his split was 43-1-3 to let's say to Bogo. So
No,
it
they
was
changed it.
43.
No, they changed it. So the splits are now 43-1-8, and that was right. And let's see, 43-0-4.
So 43-0-4. So that would be now the fastest split.
Yeah,
So
this will be the
Let's Say
fastest split.
was running. So he was given, he was given everything. And when I saw that Let's Say
Actually, oh, yeah, continue. Go ahead.
when I saw that Let's Sealy did not close down Rye, that was when I knew that Rye had to be because he has this deceptive
Running
gait
style. Yes,
about
it
him.
is.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how he always runs, right? So when I saw that Let's Sealy was tapped out and was still not closing him down, I knew
But he
right.
did close. He
He
did
did
close to be
close him
fair.
down somewhat, but
Yeah.
so what I mean, not like a hundred
It wasn't
percent.
enough to it
He didn't
wasn't
get
enough.
there.
So
Right.
remember the difference between gold and silver was a tenth of a second. So he did close him down.
Right.
And
Right.
remember,
He
he
didn't
was
get
the fastest
there.
split, so he had to close him down in order to run how fast he ran.
Right,
But it wasn't.
I know all of this, but what I expected, let's see, given the given the margin, where
Mm-hmm,
they receive their batons and the
mm-hmm,
capabilities of let's see, Tebogo, I
mm-hmm.
expected him to close down right. He had
Yeah,
enough room, he didn't get the baton that far back. So I
yeah.
expected him to close down right. And when I saw that, the finishing line was approaching and he still did not get there, that was when I knew that Ryan Benjamin was running, well outside of himself. So kudos
Mm-hmm.
to Team USA for managing to pull off that Olympic record.
Yeah, it
Well
was an
done.
amazing run. And as I said, I don't feel embarrassed. So for those who want to come into the comment section and go, yaga, 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 USA, USA, USA. As I said, the floor is yours. You won. Feel free to celebrate. I have no problems there. But as I said, I'm not embarrassed with the call. I thought it was an amazing race by Botswana. It just wasn't enough to beat USA on this day. All right. I want to touch on the women's 100 meter hurdle, sorry. Um, because that was a race that also gutted Jamaica as well. Um, Akira Nugent unfortunately did not finish in the women's 100 meter hurdles. Take it away.
Yes. T, I saw her clip one of those early hurdles.
The first
And
one. First one
right,
to go.
and she rebounded and kept going. And the camera kind of panned out because she was out there in lane 9. And the camera kind of panned away from her for a minute and focused on the persons that were in the middle at the moment leading the charge. And when the camera got back to her, I saw her running off the track. I didn't exactly get to see how she clipped. They maybe heard of 5. I don't know, somewhere in the middle
I don't know
there.
if she got that far actually. I think what I thought happened was she got a really good start and she, unfortunately hit that hurdle, the first hurdle, which, flung her, to one side and she was trying to regain her balance. And in doing so, in clearing the second hurdle, it didn't work as well. And by the time we got up to the third hurdle, they were literally moving away from her. Right. So I don't think she was able to clear much more because she was off balance. She was off
Right.
balance and she didn't get to regain her balance any, which is why she didn't finish the race.
Right, and she didn't finish the race, and Masai Russell went
Yeah.
on to win the race. Congratulations to Masai Russell. Samba Mayela, from France,
Yeah.
the host city getting the silver medal there, and of course Jasmine Camacho Quinn rounding it up with the bronze. And overall, just excited for the ladies. It was a strong pool of ladies. This is one race where I guess maybe top 10 It could have gone either way, even leading into the finals, the eight that made it. It was that
Yeah.
close. You
Yeah.
know, it was anybody's race. This year, the 100-meter hurdles for the women 100-meter hurdles, it has been top tier. The talent
Mm-hmm.
has been great. We had so many persons running in the 12 threes. Then of course we had Masai, running 12 twos. That was Akira as well ran 12-8 at the Jamaica trials. So we were excited to see how, and that college rivalry now turned professional rivalry, especially with both of them in the finals. We were
Mm-hmm.
so excited to see how that would pan out. Unfortunately for Akira, it was not to be today. She did make a post on social media, T, relating to what happened during the race, along the lines of being not being herself, since the
Oh, yeah, she said she
injury.
couldn't feel the lower part of her body about a week ago. Her feet were swollen as well. So yeah,
And
she
she's
wasn't
happy,
the Akira that we saw at the national championship. She running 12-8. It wasn't the Akira that turned up at the nationals, at the Olympic Games. I think it was pretty obvious, from the first round that something wasn't quite right with her. But we're definitely still hopeful for the best. She was definitely going for it in the finals. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. As I said, she took out the first hurdle, and that threw her off completely. She was off balance, tried to regain her balance, but everybody was going so well, or the field was so strong that just one little blunder will set you back so far. Because it was
right?
amazing to see watching her hit that first hurdle and get thrown off, and then realizing how far back she was because of that. She was
And
literally out of it from the first hurdle because she hit it, right? And Masa eventually went away with the win, 12.33. It was so close. Samba Mayela 12.34 and Jasmine Camacho Quinn 12.36. Incidentally, Samba Mayela and Jasmine Camacho Quinn are training partners. So one, two, three, four training partners. That was pretty good.
ultimately she said she's still happy that she ended the Olympics as an Olympic finalist. And I guess we can just be happy for her and Jamaica, and just how we acquitted ourselves today. It wasn't the races didn't pan out how we wanted them to, both the 100-meter hurdles and also the 4x4. However, the ladies, at least who got to run, Stacey and Williams in the 4x4 and Akira Nugent in the 100-meter hurdles, they acquitted themselves for the little that they could. And these are Olympic finalists, right? So we mean top 8 in the world, the world. So we're just happy overall for the Team Jamaica and our ladies.
Yeah. For sure. So yeah, we're just looking forward to seeing what they come with when they're healthy in the future. The final event that I want to touch on is the men's high jump, where we had Romain Beckford finish 10th. He created a bit of history for Jamaica there. Jamaica has never had an athlete place 10th in an Olympic Games or this high at an Olympic Games. So he made it to the finals and he placed 10th. More history there, not on the podium. There's still, a lot more to learn and a lot more to go for him in the sport, but it's progress. It's a step in the right direction, and I just love seeing what's happening with our youngsters in the field as well. We had a lot of mishaps on the track, but the field events definitely, in
Yeah.
some capacity, did absolutely amazing for Jamaica. Whether or not it led to a medal, we're talking about the discus through having three men make the finals. That has never happened for Jamaica. You know what I mean? So it was just great all around for the field events, and Romain added to that. It didn't lead to a medal, as I said, but there's a lot of growth for him in the sport, and I'm hoping that he takes motivation from this and will be able to rise to new heights and be challenge some of the best in the world and get into those 2.3s, because that's where you have to be when you want to contend for a medal. If you're not jumping 2.36 4, you know what I mean, maybe you won't be able to get on the medal podium, right? The athlete that walked away with the win was Hermish Kerr. He jumped 2.36 meters. That was an area record for him. Shelby McEwen from America jumped 2.36. Jumping, I know, an amazing PB. And Motaz Esher Barshim, the defending Olympic champion, with Tamberi, he finished third. He jumped 2.34 meters, and that was a season's best for him. So he gets on the medal podium. Tamberi doesn't, but we did get news that Tamberi was ill leading into this.
Right. Congratulations to Romain. uh, as Steve said, our youth, especially in the field events, definitely stepped up and outperformed. You know, they even overperformed this year. So we're excited to see what more, Remain has to bring. I just hope that he stays healthy, has good program in place as far as it relates to training, and just gets the support that he needs so that the next time we see him in the field, he will be doing great things.
Okay, so that's pretty much what happened for this final day, at least final day of participation for majority of the events. Only one event is left, and that is the women's 10 marathon, the women's marathon that comes up tomorrow. But that being said, this was Paris 2024. It was bittersweet, bittersweet, sweet because I love what I'm seeing in the field events now. Bitter because we had so many spills on the track. So that's why it's bittersweet. But I really want to celebrate the moments that we've had for the field. And I just want to, hide my head now for the moments that we had on the track.
But Jamaica to the world.
That's the weekend. To the world.